Okay class, today's lesson is all about perspective. Now if you're already a fan of the channel, you're probably already aware that perspective is a pretty important concept around here. Through altering our perspectives, we can gain insight and knowledge that would typically be unavailable to us, and in many cases, it even allows us to learn new things from events we thought we already understood. But how does this apply to Halo? I'm the Home Slice Ascent Hyperion, and in today's video, I want to talk about how in 2009, Bungie pulled off one of the most lucrative paywall scams of all time, and that scam was called the Road to Recon. We'll talk about how the Recon Armor set became the crown jewel of a money-making scheme that cost players up to $70 per set. Fanboys, don't destroy your keyboards just yet. Be sure you stick around for my viewer question towards the end. Let's kick this off. So, you probably don't need me to tell you that one of the biggest debates in gaming right now is about the ongoing integration of microtransactions into games. In fact, if you look at a list of AAA games released over the last 5 years alone, you're likely to see at least some form of MTX built into each one. Halo 5 got a lot of flack for including rec packs, a loot box style MTX system that dominated the armor unlock system. The packs could be purchased with real money or unlocked in-game and would dish out randomized unlocks. But with the sting of having our favorite armor sets being locked away behind a price tag still fresh in our minds, I think it's a great time to recount the story of the single most expensive armor piece in Halo's history, the Recon Armor. And what's even more funny is that when people argue about how we should see the return of skill-based unlocks and challenge-based unlocks, the Recon Armor is typically a quick example. Truthfully, the Recon Armor is one of, if not the single most worst example you could ever give regarding skill or challenge-based anything. Why? Well, let's start off like this. Halo 3 was released in September of 2007 and for the first time featured expanded armor customization for players. Each armor piece was associated typically with an in-game achievement, ranging from cartoony challenges to fairly hardcore tasks. But regardless of the level of difficulty associated with the armor piece, so long as you owned Halo 3, you had everything you needed to unlock the armor inside Halo 3. As many of you already know, the Recon Armor had to be unlocked by completing the 7 Vidmaster challenges. But here's the kicker, the Recon Armor became the first armor set that could not be unlocked by just completing achievements in Halo 3. Now you needed 4 achievements in Halo 3 and 3 achievements in Halo 3 ODST. And as a side note, you also needed to own the Mythic Map Pack, a Halo 3 DLC, to complete one of the Vidmasters. Now, not only did you have to own Halo 3, which you may have paid $60 for if you bought it new, as well as the Mythic Map Pack, which would have cost you $10, you also need Halo 3 ODST, which would have run you $60 if you bought it new. Some people are probably getting ready to start typing, well, actually, ODST included the Halo 3 Mythic Disc, which included the Mythic Map Pack. To which I say, great. That doesn't change the fact that the Mythic Map Pack released in April of 2009, nearly 5 months before the release of ODST, so it's probably fair to assume many players had already bought the maps at full price by the time the Mythic Disc ever hit a disc tray. So at this point, at a maximum, players have invested an additional $70 to obtain the achievements required to unlock the Recon Armor. By now, I'd imagine someone is typing, well, actually, it's okay, because you get a whole game with it too, duh. To which I say, did we actually get a whole game? Halo ODST contains 2 modes, Campaign and Firefight. The ODST campaign has 8 actual linear missions, and on average could be beaten in about 7 hours, less if you're just kind of hustling through. The Firefight mode, and I know some of y'all don't want to hear this, is basically a wave defense mechanic ripped from campaign and then put on repeat. The Firefight maps are even just isolated sections of campaign missions. What I'm saying here, folks, is that there really is not a lot of content in Halo 3 ODST, at least not $60 worth of content. I think it's fair to say part of that $60 charge came from the Recon challenges, and if you don't want to believe me, let's talk about this. We often talk about microtransactions or DLC being predatory, meaning they are designed or marketed in such a way where players are inclined beyond normal levels to purchase them. Activision recently landed in hot water for this same concept, as they published a patent on a matchmaking system that would track store items players viewed the most, actively match them with players who owned those items, and then would reward them for buying the item by temporarily matching them with lesser skilled players, so they would do better and feel better. Now, I'm not saying Bungie did that exactly, but what I am getting at is that Bungie took advantage of the hype around the Recon helmet in particular. You see, back in the day, the helmet was originally owned only by Bungie employees, and regular players could only receive it as a gift from Bungie. But as the rumor of a secret helmet spread across the fanbase, the desire for the supposedly unobtainable helmet grew and grew. People wanted Recon. Some people even started trying to buy the helmet from people. This was a scam. Some people gave their account information to supposed Bungie employees in exchange for the helmet. This was a scam. And if you're old enough, you probably remember all the fake how to unlock Recon videos that poured into YouTube too. This was a scam. So, long story short, people wanted this helmet. They needed this helmet. Players were willing to go the distance to have Recon, and Bungie was about to make them walk the distance. Some people may feel differently, but I think when you weigh the amount of content in ODST against the 3 other Halo titles before it, objectively it does not earn a full $60 price tag. I do believe Bungie capitalized on players' desires to make the game seem more worth it. I think a lot of people sort of neglect the whole additional price thing when we talk about Recon, because there's a good chance that at the time, the money being spent wasn't your money. If you were an early teen to preteen in 2009, those purchases were probably not coming out of your wallet. But by 2021, gaming is most likely an expense you carry out of your own pocket. So those extra $5 to $10 required for season passes or loot box mean a lot more now. Regardless of how you want to shake it up, the Recon armor set required players to spend money outside of Halo 3 to unlock armor for Halo 3. This cannot be denied in any capacity. Maybe it wasn't the full $70, maybe it was $60, maybe it was $40, but there's still a price tag associated with additional content for Halo 3. I know there are probably some people who will rise to the defense of the Vidmaster challenges, and who still claim that at the end of the day, the armor was unlocked via challenge. I actually don't disagree. There were challenges. There were 4 challenges you get by owning Halo 3, and there's 3 challenges you get by paying $60. That's why I said the Recon armor is probably one of the worst examples of challenge-based armor, because the challenge system is directly refuted by the paywall between them. And modern day battle passes do a similar thing by including the free challenges and the premium challenges. Looking at you, Rocket League. So I think this video is best concluded with the viewer question. If Halo Infinite had a new exclusive armor set that required not only the $60 base game for campaign, let's say, and a purchase of what amounts to a $60 DLC at a fraction of the campaign length and total content, are you buying it? Cause in 2009, that's what happened with Recon. That's gonna do it for this video. If you want to support what I do here, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Consider leaving a donation on my Ko-fi. Your contributions keep the lights on and the videos rolling. Linked below. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later.